assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush amdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Pakhair agale, ni hao, junashumbe, washmale, ohai, gazaimus, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifahal, halishumachatore, ahlan wasalan, marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabiam, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning, alongside the very fantastic, the very amazing co-host of ours, Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you on this Wednesday morning?
Well, I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you.
You look great as well.
Oh, thank you so much. You do too. But, okay, Shahzad. So, before I do ask you this as a question, I'm going to tell this to all my audiences out there. Ladies and gentlemen, for different reasons, one can feel super angry and, one can feel like maybe they're not in control of their emotions and they might burst at someone or kick them or punch them. Every other day probably we come across such things. But to overcome that moment, to overcome that impatient moment is actually when you feel like you've really grown up as a good person or grown, well, let's say you've actually been a part of a good growth as a human. Because a lot of things, a lot of people are going to test you, a lot of situations are going to test you, but if you can be yourself in them, that is when you're a winner. And I'm saying this because similar things happened to Shahzad in the morning, but I'm so proud that Shahzad, you actually, kept your calm in it.
Yeah, it was very difficult for me to actually kind of control my anger today early in the morning, and it was just because of the fact that there were a few things which were mismanaged.
Logistics weren't working.
Yeah, and everything could have been fine, but other than that, so all this time while I was I was getting late for my work, and it just makes me happy to be right in front of you people and to talk to you people. So what happened was, while I was on my way, and we know that Pakistanis do not have really got a good sense of driving as well. So you know how they drive. So other than that, so just like that, while I was driving, there was a bike which was coming in, there were cars and whatnot, and then I thought that I should actually bang my car into this person. He's an idiot and whatnot. And then to my I felt guilty right after thinking like that as well. And then to myself, I thought that, if you want to be a great human being in future, you actually need to control all of these emotions. So I started looking for water in the car, because that's what they say, that if you're angry, just have water. If you're sitting, just lie down. So I couldn't lie down in the car. So I thought I might have some water, but I didn't have any water. So I turned on a few songs. And then I kept on thinking, okay, we can go about it. We'll probably figure it out. But eventually, alhamdulillah, when I came into the makeup room, our very talented makeup artist, Mariam, and then she was there as well. And she was angry over something.
I know.
So we kind of, counseled each other, and everything's great. What about you?
Well, what about me? Okay, I had a happy morning, as usual. I'm a happy person. But I feel like, that's the spirit, Shahzad. Whenever you're coming to work, this was sort of a commitment that you've made to your workplace. Of course, that is PTV. So no matter what comes in your way, you are going to give your all to your work every other morning, right?
And ladies and gentlemen, today we actually wanted to start with a public service message as well. And it's a very simple message. And I think that people actually need to consider that as well, that most of the times we've seen that people who are actually working as, for example, guards, people who are actually maids, people who are actually servants at your places as well. What I've seen recently in these times is that people who actually earn a little more and have a respectable job do not really respect people who are actually servants, who are guards, who are maids. So I believe that everybody is working to get food on the table, may it be a CEO, may it be a security guard. So I believe that everybody needs to be treated equally. Please make sure that you do that in your life as well.
That's beautiful, and that is very important to learn, especially early in the morning as well.
Thank you, Amar.
All right, so Shahzad, in the first segment, what are we discussing?
Okay, so today, Shiza, I believe that it's going to be a very good news for all of those couples who are out there and that they have been trying to have babies, but unfortunately they cannot. Now, luckily, the technology has advanced so much that now there are treatments available, and if you get them tested and if you get them tried onto you, there are chances that people can actually have babies, or women can give birth to babies, and even men who do not really have sperms, there's a way, there's a solution that they can actually take out sperms out of your testicles and then make sure that you have a baby of your own as well. It was very hard for me to believe it this way as well, but I believe that it's going to bring a smile on a lot of faces as well, and this is what we are digging in today.
No, that's absolutely right, because Shahzad, this is where technology is taking us. If there are not answers to the things that we're facing in a bad way, then why do we even have technology in the first place? So ladies and gentlemen, for this very purpose, we've been joined by someone.
Exactly, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by somebody who's a robotic surgeon, fertility and IVF specialist, USA. He's board certified by United States of America, Medical Director, American Facility Center, Islamabad, Rawalpindi. He's none other than Dr. Rizwan Malik. Hello, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum. It's great to be here.
Thank you very much.
Privilege and pleasure. And I'm glad to hear that you guys had a good morning and got over those kind of cool emotions coming out, right? Pakistani driving.
Yeah.
That's famous
Yeah.
all over the world, right? So,
But thank you very much for joining us. And let me tell you. Let us just start. I'm going to start with a compliment.
Okay.
And the compliment is that in the 6 years of this morning show, you're the very first person who's actually been louder than me early in the morning.
We'll love this energy.
congratulations.
I'm on I think jet lag or opposite schedule here.
Well, that's great.
coming
So
from
let's
States.
dig into it. I mean, I know that it's a good news for people out there, but first things first, what I want to know is before we even ask about the treatment, is the treatment very expensive?
Not really. I think it can start. Sometimes people, that's what the perception is.
Okay.
That listen, hey, when we want to treat, my God, it's going to cost so much.
Yeah.
So it could be as simple as taking a few pills and kind of working out the details of why a couple is having trouble.
All right.
So I think the important thing is to seek help and kind of find the specialized center that can figure out what the cause is.
All right. And so
Of
which
the
is
couple's
why,
problem.
I think that we should actually start with the underlying issues, as in why couples are actually having problems in reproducing.
Right, so there can be many causes. When we look at a couple who's been together for about a year,
Yeah.
and they've been unable to have children,
Very
that's where,
Pakistani thought, though.
right? So that's where we kind of look at the pressures and from the whole family, and we look at causes. So among those couples, about 30% of the time to 40%,
Yep.
it's a male factor, where a man has sperms that are either low in quantity or quality. And so we've kind of worked with men on that. So we treat couples as a whole. And so
Okay.
that's important to say that, okay, when a couple comes in, we started with men testing their kind of sample and make sure that they're not the cause of this difficulty the couple is doing. So when you look at about 40%, golly, that's quite a bit.
That is
And
quite enough.
Yeah, so we have to look at that as the initial cause.
Yeah.
Among the women, we look at, there can be factors on tubal factors where the fallopian tubes are blocked. So we look at those. The polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS,
Yeah.
endometriosis. And so some of the other fibroids, other factors that may cause them not to be able to conceive.
Okay.
So
All
all those hormone problems, hormone issues that are there. So we kind of look at those all in terms of evaluate those and figure out the root cause and try to fix that.
All right.
So that may be simply fixing the thyroid problem.
We'll definitely
And some of those.
come down to how to fix these problems. But very quickly, since we are actually talking about why couples are unable to reproduce, so a simple question: by 2020, the research says that depression is actually going to be the #1 killer in the world. What I want to know and what I want to ask you is, do you think that stress, family pressure, peer pressure, and anxiety can actually be one of the reasons why couples are not able to reproduce?
Right, so frequently the case with the stress, it does affect the egg production in women. And so, and even in treatment-wise, studies have shown that the women who are under high stress, their reproductive outcomes, even in treatment cycles, are lower.
All right.
So
All
one
right.
of the things we advise our couples first is just to kind of cut down their stress, not to kind of believe in the team they're with.
Yeah.
Know that yes, we're the most professional team, and then it's going to happen.
Okay.
All
And then
right.
take the stress away and listen, hey, I'm going to be fine, and I think that really makes a difference.
Yeah.
No, of course it does make a difference. And you know what, for a very long time, and I feel like even now in some segments of Pakistan, this topic is tabooed or stigmatized and not very openly talked upon. And even if a couple comes out to discuss it among themselves, and if one starts blaming the other, most of the time in general, and then also whoever comes out to be faulty feels belittled or feels pointed at.
Exactly.
But now I feel like there has been a paradigm shift. I mean, a lot of people are probably resorting to these sort of technological advancements because everyone, I mean, a lot of people want to have a family of their own, right?
Yeah.
So now you have brought this service to Pakistan, where before a lot of Pakistanis used to go abroad to get this service, probably in secret, probably in a better condition, quality, whatnot. Tell us all about it and how has been the response?
Right, so I think you're right about that. The stigma or the fertility, just not states. I mean, it's all over the world. So
Yeah.
we treat patients in the United States, in overseas countries. And so same thing, it is a very tough topic to deal with. It's like you feel that you're not performing the functions that you're supposed to. And so especially for women, sometimes it's very kind of difficult to address or to address and deal with.
Right.
And that's where I think the support of the center and the facility makes all the difference, and the family support. And in Pakistan, I think more so of that, like you're describing, like yesterday I had a couple and with a family where they were saying, listen, hey, tell the boy that he's a problem and not our daughter. And you know how they were defending themselves as a family, as a unit,
Right.
that listen, hey, you need to tell the boy his sperms are just not good enough. And it was defensive. So I was kind of taken back. Okay, well,
Why is
really
it an
becomes
issue? Why is
right,
that big
right.
of
I
an
mean,
issue?
but it becomes a bigger issue. And then I think in as compared to Western society, that's what I find a bit different here. So in Western societies, people are more kind of willing to say, okay, you know what, there's a problem, let's find a solution to it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
here, there's a lot of that. Okay, fine, let's just get the divorce, or let's find some other, move on to the next person.
absolutely.
And then in Pakistan, for men, we have seen, okay, they've gone through the third wife, and still the third wife is not pregnant, and now they're saying, okay, well, there must be a problem, and they come in and they got no sperm. So
Right, yes.
that's frequently the case in Pakistan. People get second and third marriage and fourth marriage, and then say, listen, hey, there's no children. And
Without
also for the-
diagnosing themselves first,
Right,
probably. Maybe
right.
they are the
So
reason.
frequently that happens. And also, I think in women also, to be able to say, simply say, yesterday I had a couple that simply, the mother was there with the daughter and said, listen, hey, if the guy's not there, I'm going to take my daughter away and all that. So there's pressure. Instead of taking that approach, let's find a solution approach is better.
Exactly.
Right,
And I think that's what I advocate in our center and all the centers at various places. And
Okay, just one question though. When you're talking about polycystic ovary syndrome, I was in conversation with one of the doctors, this was probably a few weeks ago, and they mentioned that according to their research in their own clinic or hospital, 1 out of every 3 girls who come to see them have, ovary syndrome, polycystic. So does that mean you were never able to conceive, or is that treatable?
no, so
If it's that so commonly spread, I mean.
right. So it's fairly common. There's a genetic component to it, as well as there's a
Lifestyle component?
lifestyle component. And so in Asian population is a bit more prevalent. So
Okay.
like this, one of the data showed that about 50% of Asians have some component of PCOS versus in Caucasians, in UK, it's about 20%. So
Oh, right.
a bit more the genetic component plus a diet, and combine that with the physical activity and the kind of lack thereof.
Right, right.
So all those play a role. So not every PCOS patient will have, or woman will have infertility.
Okay,
But it's more prevalent in those, somebody who has PCOS may be difficult to produce eggs. And, but I think the take-home message is it's treatable very easily. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking some medicines, and that's what it takes to start a family.
Exactly. And
All
just
right.
before we ask you that, what are the treatments available, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a simple pledge to all of those people out there. Imagine that we live in a country where women can actually get divorced because of the fact that they never gave birth to a baby boy. So imagine the kind of difficulty women must be facing if they're not even, giving birth to a single child. So there can be a lot of difficulties. But let me be very clear on this, that the tests which are available for men are way more cheaper than for the ones available for women. So all I'm going to request you is for all of those men who are out there who are actually emphasizing and pressurizing their wives to get themselves tested, I believe that it's probably better that if you get yourself tested first as well. And by the end of the day, both of you want to be parents as well, right?
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much for saying that, Shazad. A lot of people needed to hear that. Now, sir, you have developed a state-of-the-art facility in Pakistan for, of course, Pakistanis and everyone living abroad as well. This is a good news for everyone watching right now. And I'm really happy that it is at least reaching out to all the people who were probably even hiding it or probably just conflicted about how to go about it. So this is your camera. Please go ahead and share your website and tell them how anyone can
And
reach
where
out
is
to
this
you.
facility? And then we'll
Situate,
talk
yeah.
about the treatments quickly.
Right. So the facility is called American Fertility Center. We have our facilities in Islamabad at G8, as well as in Rawalpindi available. We have one of the best or the most advanced fertilities available, fertility care available in the center. not only the patients before the trend was to go out for better care and more advanced technology. Now that we are through these facilities, this time we had patients from 5 different countries, from from Dubai, from Saudi Arabia, Canada, from UK, and United States and Philippines. Patients actually came to Pakistan to receive fertility treatment.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
that I think spoke volumes of our team and the service they provide, the caring. I think being kind of one of those overseas Pakistani myself.
Right.
I think and the team, our team is very sensitive to that they really cater to the needs and the hurdles, things that those people face day to day in those countries, different countries, to say treatment is expensive in those countries. So sometimes that can be the hurdle that, okay, we understand we need treatment such as IVF or ICSI, but we just can't afford it. So that happens even in the United States. I mean, I see people on a daily basis, they come in, they say, okay, well, that's what I need, but doc, I can't afford it. It's not something I can afford. Or Dubai, we get calls, UK, we get calls on a daily basis to solicit.
So do we have a cushion for people who actually belong to the downtrodden segment of the society? Do we have a cushion? Does the American Fertility Center provide them with the discounted rates or something of that sort as well?
Yes, so there's an altruistic side, or a big part of that's really the thrust of our organization. It really is meant to serve our population in Pakistan. That's really what I get back by coming back and contributing here, and the whole thrust or altruistic part of the American Fertility Center is to provide local care. So people who come in, they get great care from overseas. They get the best technology, the best care possible in the world. In return, we have a helpline, and
please, can you please share the hotline number?
yes, it's 0331 556 5570.
556 557 0331.
Yes, sir. So that's the helpline for somebody who's really can say, listen, hey, I need it and I can't afford it. So for them, we have the center provides discounted rates and sometimes a free care. And,
That's amazing.
Really being able to have a child, it's really, I think, a gift that everybody should be able to at least have an attempt.
Exactly.
And have that. And really, but it does cost money to deliver care. So really, I think the trick is to be able to find a balance and really provide that care, bring that care to more of our fellow Pakistanis, and bring the best technology to Pakistan.
That's great, and it's wonderful. And I believe that Dr. Saab has actually got the talent to be a TV host as well. You know, you speak very well. But very quickly, sir, all I wanted to ask is that for all of those treatments which are available, which treatments have the most success rate? Just let our viewers know as well, so that you know. And then which treatment is actually applicable for what kind of symptoms?
Right. So it depends upon the underlying cause. So start out with IVF is really the ultimate treatment where we take the eggs out, take the sperm, inject them in a lab, make an embryo in a lab, and put that back into the wife's uterus. And that is most effective in terms of treatment-wise. And not everybody will need it. So as, like I said, most people may need just a pill or surgical repair. And that's where the center offers the minimally invasive surgery, which is a lot more accurate, a lot more safer, fewer side effects. And so minimally invasive surgery Center of Excellence is there at American Fertility Center for minimally invasive surgery. So we do robotic surgery in States. We have those facilities. In Pakistan, the robots are not available yet, but we have the skills to do still laparoscopic surgery that almost as good as the robotic surgery.
That's great.
And the other thing you brought up about the baby boy, so some of those families have their pressures. Somebody wants a baby girl. I frequently get those requests. I got 4 stinky boys. I want a baby girl. You know, I can put a bow in their hair and do all those fun things. So that's not called family balancing. So technology has that where we can take those embryos, do a biopsy, and also now we can even check genetics. So I've had a couple where 4 of their babies died. So frequently we get those babies where babies are getting born or dying either inside or after birth. So we have been able to identify the genes that the parents are passing on to the babies, figure those out, and then test for those genes in the embryos, and then figure out the embryos that are disease-free and pass those on. So frequently, diseases like thalassemias and sickle cell. So all those, they're available. So family balancing, IVF, and then minimally
I
invasive
believe
surgery.
that's great, but ladies and gentlemen, just very quickly, let me remind you that yes, a lot of technological advancements have been made since the world has existed, actually.
Yes.
So, but as a matter of fact, I think that when we talk about family balancing, we really need to know what our religion says about it. I mean, choosing gender and then probably going for having a baby kid. I think that there might be different mindsets related to that. So this was Dr. Saab sharing his opinion and
Exactly.
his thoughts about that these are the treatments which are available out there as well. But whether we want to opt for them is our choice, and then we really need to know what our religion talks about it as
Absolutely.
well. But thank you very much,
Thank you
Dr.
so
Saab, for being
much.
with us.
I know.
Lovely
Thank you
having
so much for your hospitality. It's a privilege to be here and great to be in Pakistan.
Thank you very
No,
much.
it's absolutely our pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, if anyone around you, or even if you yourself are going through this, let's say phase, I mean, more than a physical phase, it is so emotional, right, Shahzad?
Exactly.
So, please be a support to them, be a hearing aid to them. I mean, just listen to all that they have to go through. Just tell them all the options that they have, and stop judging or belittling. I mean, this can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
And for all the people who are already going through it, I mean, do discover your opportunities, explore your opportunities, and try to seek an answer to the thing that you're looking
And there's
for.
no shame in it, ladies and gentlemen. So for all of those people who are out there, please make sure that if you want to be parents, and which I believe is a great thing which can happen to a person in this world as well, and you'll feel like as if you're in the heaven while you're surrounded with your kids as well.
Aw.
So we wish everybody best of luck for all of those couples who are actually trying to have babies. Where we have certainly possible treatments available over here within Pakistan, in Islamabad, Rawalpindi. There's this American Fertility Center. Look for it. We have shared the hotline numbers as well, just to remind
And
a
they
little.
might give you a discount.
Yeah, and if you do not have a lot of cash on you, it's not really important. All you have to do is just call them, let them know, and they will help you. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, for doing all of this for Pakistanis and for the rest of the world as well, as people are actually flowing in from other parts of the world to Pakistan to get themselves treated. But ladies and gentlemen, it's all about technology. And when we talk about technology, there's something very amazing we're going to share with you guys in the next segment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be
Right back. Stay tuned. Good morning. Welcome back to World This Morning with Shahzad Khan and Shahzad Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, on a beautiful morning where the spirits are very lifted.
Yeah, and I feel absolutely great because we just got done with the segment, ladies and gentlemen, which I believe is a very important one for all of those couples who are actually looking to be parents in near future as well. So yeah, it was a bit of stereotype breaking as well, but then at the same time, before going towards the break, I said that technology has actually helped a lot of people to make their lives better as well.
Absolutely.
But right now, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of technology, when we speak about it, obviously technology is actually helping everybody in every walk of life. So today in this segment, what we have done is that we've actually picked up on hunting. Well, I haven't been a hunter all my life.
Yeah.
The only thing which I've hunted probably, or I don't know whether I should call it hunted or probably caught, is fishing. And yes, I obviously always, whenever I've actually been away for fishing, I've always got the permit too as well. So whatever we're going to talk about
Very
today
important.
is actually all legal. We're going to speak about legal hunting and the processes we have to go through, the seasons and which animals and which birds can we shoot in which seasons as well, and then how hard it is, and then what kind of technological advancements we have seen in terms of hunting as well.
Absolutely.
And we're very lucky that we've actually been joined with some very amazing guests over here who themselves are some amazing hunters, and I don't know how they got this passion or how they got into it. We'll definitely ask them. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, on my right hand side, a passionate hunter himself, Mr. Ikrama Bhutta. Hello, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam, alhamdulillah. Good to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Our
much for
pleasure.
joining us. It's wonderful to have you. And alongside Mr. Ikrama Bhutta, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by another passionate hunter, and he is Irshad Nabi Bangash. Hello, assalamu alaikum, sange pira khairam barabar.
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much.
Jode
for having me
tagde,
here.
dode ukhre
Alhamdulillah,
uboske.
sir.
Zabardast.
All the Pashto that you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
So let's get the conversation started. Obviously, I want you to first of all let our viewers know that whenever you're out and you're hunting, that you've always actually got a permit.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you get the permits from? Which seasons, which birds, which animals? How does it work? We do not know anything about it. Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
Absolutely yes.
Okay.
Hunting is hunting when it's legal.
Yeah.
If it's not legal, it's poaching.
Yeah.
You're
Alright.
endangering the environment, you're threatening the local species,
Yep.
and you're not doing anything good to the local community. You know, we see a lot of these, you know, developed countries and also developing countries in
Yep.
Africa, you know, who've legalized this, you know, sport, and they're, you know, earning so much and, you know, helping the wildlife sustain and
Right.
conserve. And
But we're doing
likewise-
that in GB as well.
we're doing that
Yes.
in GB. We start that, and that's the good thing about it. And we need to, you know, the authorities need to expand that horizon.
Absolutely.
They
agreed.
need to, you know, start doing that in other games as well. And I think this is a wonderful sport. And if we do this, there's so much potential for tourism.
Yeah.
There's so much potential for, you know, awareness. And, you know, as a hunter, when we go out there, you know, it's not just about, you know, going there and, you know, we're bloodthirsty and we want to kill.
not like
and, you know,
that.
it's not like that. It's about, you know, enjoying the nature. You know, it's about being with the nature, getting out of that hustle and bustle, just going there, admiring the nature, you know, going. A few of my friends who are hunters as well, you know, what they do is they just have their binoculars on them. They'll just hit one or two and they'll just start bird watching.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all they do for the entire week. That's all they do. You know, it's just that one or two and then bird watching.
Oh, okay.
And I
so this is
believe-
basically a sort of, let's say, connection to the nature as well. When we're looking at different ways of expressing ourselves, I mean, we resort to sometimes music, sometimes acting, whatnot. So hunting is that as well.
It's not in the human nature to, you know, stay confined in all this, you know, city and concrete jungle.
Yeah.
You know, we have to go outside.
I
we
agree.
need to explore the real jungle. You know, it's in the intimate nature of human being.
Okay, so here's the thing. So my dad, for a very long time, used to hunt. He was in the military, of course. So I enjoyed the, you know, big deer heads coming to my house and whatnot. But the most annoying part was when he went for bird hunting, because he would come back with batir and sometimes, you know, rabbit, and they're so tiny. I mean, it's almost annoying.
you
What's
can
the
even
fun
eat
in
the
that?
bones, man.
Yeah, what's the fun in that?
Bangash sahab?
Well, I know I'll second you on that one because, but basically, hunting is not about meat.
Okay.
It's about breaking your daily routine, getting out of concrete jungle, going into real jungle, getting disconnecting yourself, your cell phones, everything for at least couple of hours or couple of days.
Yeah.
And that is how you get the inner satisfaction when you hit a bird in a nice way. It's in a nice angle when you have a group of hunters with you who are who think alike, who
Right.
thinks exactly the way you are, because poaching is something that we are all against.
Definitely.
Healthy hunting and people who are around you, and if they are mentally healthy, I'm talking about, we are not getting a bag of 100 partridges or something. If 6 is allowed, we should go for 6. If 5 is allowed, 5 should be.
Exactly.
Those people who are preserving these birds, these species, they are not sitting idle. They are working. They are counting numbers. They are doing their day and night. They have efforts going on and happening over there. What they do is they calculate. If a bird, if a species is going on endangered side, if the number is dropping low, so they'll ask you to kindly go about 4 or 5 birds per gun per permit.
A very limited amount.
A very limited
Okay.
amount.
Okay.
Here I'll add something. If you acquire a weapon license,
Yeah.
that is, you can carry a weapon.
Yes.
That does not mean you are allowed to kill any bird.
Okay. Okay.
You need to have a shooting permit.
Okay.
And then if you have a gun, and then you have a dog, you have to have a dog license as well.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't know that.
And which
Wow.
authorities actually issue these licenses?
Wildlife is the
Wildlife.
authority
Yeah.
everywhere. In few places, there are some game reserves which local people, they have kept these animals not in a captivity,
Yeah.
but it's a
Open
huge area. But still, it's called a game zone area. Still, wildlife is the authority to give you permission to go into that area and hunt a legal animal.
But that's great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 things which I want you to highlight. First of all, that the trophy hunting competition over here in
I was
Pakistan
gonna talk about that.
is one of the world's most well-managed hunting competition over here, which takes place in Pakistan. A lot of people come from all over the world to actually compete in that. And other than that, there's just one simple request to all of those people who are out there, that I believe that wildlife can actually be more useful and they can do more work if they have been actually provided with the right facilities. For example, cars to roam around with. They cannot actually look after all of these species while walking on their foot. So please make sure that we give them the right facilities so that they can actually work on that too as well. But very quickly, sir, because we're very short in time,
Okay.
so I want to know which seasons, partridges, ducks, birds, fish, whatever you've been shooting so far, because we have no idea. And then, you know, you've actually brought this ammunition alongside you as well. So let us know when and which one is used for what kind of bird or animal hunting.
Firstly, I would like to say hunting season are usually, tentatively, it's already announced. But the perfect season and perfect dates are always announced through newspapers, through websites and everywhere by wildlife department. You acquire license from them. Even in Gilgit-Baltistan, in October, they have auction going on. You buy that permit, and then there's a specific dates. They give you a specific time frame if you can visit between these days, so then you can come and visit a healthy animal and easily. You can
Well,
even
we're also
hunt.
sharing some pictures of you right now.
Yeah, those were last year.
But
I
you
went
paraglide and shoot as well. I mean,
I'm actually, that was more of me. Sorry. Like I said, I enjoy both adventure activities and you know, roaming around and travel. So that's
Alright.
that's you know, from that.
that's bungus out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Are these rabbits?
Those are rabbits.
Okay. So Bungas, please move on.
If you're talking about bird hunting, mostly we have quails, partridges, duck hunts, geese.
Okay.
On quails, there is no limitation because it's a traveling bird. It comes from Siberia towards Pakistan, and then it's a migratory bird. It go back. Since she said it's a tiny bird, there's less of meat on that. Yeah, they say it's unlimited, but still, I would say you should have a limit in your mind. If it's 10 in a bag, you should be happy, and you should go back home. And the next day or the next Sunday, you can go for another good fresh meat. We have cartridges as 4 XL, 4 Super, 6 XL, 6 Super, 8 XL. In 7, in every one we have these variations. In hunting, you should know your gun better,
Okay.
especially when it's a 12 gauge. It has a specific pattern. When you fire it from a distance, it will give you a different pattern. When you go a little bit more, it will give you a different pattern. So in order to get a perfect hunt on a perfect day, you should know your gun, where the bullet or the pellets are going, basically.
Wow.
If your pellets are going towards right and the bird, you keep the bird on the left, of course it's going to be a missed shot. But if you give it a lead on the side and you know that your pellets are going on the right side, it should simultaneously hit the bird on the right time. And regarding a big games, I'm talking about ibex, markhor,
Right.
deer hunt or something. In Gilgit-Baltistan, I had experience last year. It was very positive. I mean, we could compare the local authorities and their help with the outside of the world, with Europe, with Africa. But a few things which we need over there is proper hotels, proper guest houses.
Exactly.
Those kind of things, those kind of facilities are lacking over there, because if more than 10 people goes, then we don't have a good hotel to even pay money. We pay money, but we don't get a good place over
Okay,
there.
that's great,
Oh,
and I love
okay.
the idea. But very quickly, you know, I just wanted to get it checked as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an instrument over here which I believe imitates duck's voice, right? Is that one?
The duck call. Duck calls.
Duck call. Okay,
duck
yeah,
call
go
these
ahead.
days, it-
Can we please blow it a little
no,
as well?
I'm one of those who can.
Let me give it a try then.
I'm going to tell you about it. Duck calls, there are very specific people who can play a duck call.
Really?
But these days, we
It's
have
an art,
electronic
you know,
ones.
Okay.
We have electronic ones because in order, if you are 10 people going for a duck hunt, then it's a chaos over there. You have to go for more than 2 hides or something. So we go limited people. We have a duck call, which is electrical. We just play it, and it's...
Can we just give it a try?
no, we cannot.
Come on, we have to give it a try.
Why are you so
No, we have
reluctant?
to
We're
give it a
so
try.
excited
we
about
want
it.
we want to let people know that how it's being played.
Okay, okay.
Even
so-
you cannot do it.
No, I can't do it. So traditionally, you know, if you were going duck hunting and you did not have someone who could properly call,
Yeah.
your hunt was ruined.
Oh, yeah.
Instead
okay.
of you bringing in duck or fowl, you'd be
I thought you just
warning
give it
him,
a
telling
blow
him,
and then, you know.
No,
it'll
no,
be like-
it's a technique. We cannot.
And does it work?
It does work. But
Really?
It does. If you have a proper bird caller, you know, they would just come in.
we
like in
imported a
hundreds.
bird caller. If the duck is even in the cloud, it
Yeah.
will simply die down.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's,
so
I wish you guys had a video or something. This is so interesting.
Probably I have videos, but if you can,
We'll definitely
yeah,
watch it
definitely,
afterwards.
yeah.
But thank you so much for being here on the show. Thank you so much for making us learn. And now this is one thing I need to talk to Pakistanis out there. Well, there's this group on Twitter, Shazad, the woke Twitterati, who start, condemning literally everything. So there was a controversy going on about the, markhor hunting in Gilgit-Baltistan, the trophy hunting as well, which awarded almost $11,000 to the winner. So here's the thing. I mean, before you do condemn or make a controversy out of it, I was in conversation with one of the persons who was arranging this trophy hunting, all right? And they're like, they know which animals they have to put for hunting. They're probably not going to fertilize anymore. They're probably old age, and they're probably not going to survive anyway. So this is just something that is going to add to the economy of your country and also strike a balance in the ecosystem, because everyone runs in the right balance, right?
Exactly.
So just learn before you condemn.
Exactly, and then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, safety first. And because I've been to such expeditions, I think twice or thrice as well, and what I've seen is that, for such expeditions which are actually not managed very well, we've seen that people have gotten themselves into an injury, or just because of the fact that the shooter was actually way far behind and there were people actually in the front. So please make sure that you're very careful about all of these things as well.
And make sure you have a license.
And yeah, the only thing that we're going to emphasize on is that there's no problem in hunting, but it should be legal, it should be allowed by the state, and it should be allowed by the region you're actually hunting in as well. So please make sure that you do that, because we really do not want these species to go extinct. We really want them to be around us because they have a lot to actually contribute to our ecosystem as well.
Absolutely.
So anything from hunter's point of view which you would like to tell all the other hunters that please be careful about that? Some code of conduct.
Basically, picking up on what you said, that the markhor hunting. Let me tell you this: there have been controversies all over the world.
Yes.
I'll just quickly take 30 seconds and brief you on that.
Sure.
And they're condemning trophy hunting, and they're saying it's why are you killing animals
Killing
like that?
animals.
Do you know that the white rhino its population from hundreds has gone up to 11,000.
No, but the male rhino already died. The male
No,
white
the black
rhino.
one. That, that was the other one. That was
Okay,
the other
okay, my bad.
Its population has increased because all of the funding that's coming in, by these trophy game hunters.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
they can manage
and
the resources.
Exactly, and likewise, we can do that in Markhor. You have so many. You have the whitetail. It's a deer type in
Okay.
Canada. The white goose. That population has gone up drastically. Alhamdulillah, very well, and that has been only possible because of two things. One, it was regulated properly,
Absolutely.
and two, the people they showed interest, and the awareness that was raised because of this. And we
Right.
can do the same thing with Markhor, and not just Markhor. We could do that with the white leopard, the snow leopard,
Snow leopard.
and with so many other species.
Okay.
And last, tip, you mentioned safety. I'm and also an army brat.
Oh, okay.
This is something that my dad, and alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful for that. From day one, he did not allow us to shoot. I pulled my first trigger when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, but SOPs, safety procedures, standard operating procedures for weapon handling, that is a must. And what we need to do is we need to have classes before issuing a license.
Absolutely,
we
so
need-
important.
Exactly,
Yes.
and it's the same way you get a driver's license, the same way you should be getting your weapon license. Not just like that you can file for it and you can get a license like that.
Thank you
Right,
very much for saying that. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us. It was lovely to have you. And for all of those people who are out there, just one more thing which just popped up in my head, and
Yeah.
that is that I've seen a lot of people hunting, but then not actually taking the hunted animal back home or probably eating them or utilizing them. Please make sure that you do not shoot animals just to put them into your drawing rooms and whatnot. If you're hunting, please make sure that you eat them, you use them. If you're not going to do it, please do not kill them. Otherwise.
Absolutely. So if there's anything you need to write to us, write on our Facebook page with the name of
Well, this morning.
On Twitter.
Well, this morning without a G.
YouTube or Dailymotion.
Well, this morning. Well, this morning.
And to repeat, you can
5
catch
past
at
11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning. Take care.